Good afternoon, dear listeners, and welcome to the Marketplace here on Pan-African Radio 105.1 FM, a place where all people are proud and free. Today is Monday, the 21st of December, the year 2015. As we are about to wind up with the year 2015, the Marketplace is back again this hour at 14 through to 15 hours. Now, the Marketplace is your number one business program, one designed to facilitate interaction between business leaders and consumers as interest groups in Zambia and beyond. Now, today on the program, I'm delighted to host two interesting individuals who are in studio with me, who are going to help me discuss our topic of discussion today, which is we are actually taking a look at how to create a business plan. And these two gentlemen I have in studio with me are expert at this particular subject, and they are going to help us all discuss and get to find out how one can create a viable business plan. It's not only a business plan, mind you, it has to be viable in order for you to produce some kind of money that you want to have in every venture of business. Like they say, people go in to make money as well as there are losses here and there, but we'll get to be taught how to create a viable business plan. I have Rik Hannan from Jacana, as well as Mr. Pious Nyorongo, a trainer at Jacana. Gentlemen, good afternoon and welcome to the program.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
Thank you for welcoming us.
Thank you.
Mm-hmm. Now, to start with, I think I'll start with you, Rik. What is Jacana all about?
Yeah, Jacana is a small NGO that supports small entrepreneurs here in Zambia. So we train in business planning, for example, financial planning, marketing. Mm-hmm. That's very short what we do.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Now, our discussion today is basically on how to create a business plan. What inspires Jacana to venture into such a field? There are so many other things, other outreach programs that an organization can do. Maybe they can speak against early child marriage, but why on how to create a business plan?
Yeah, that's a good question, actually. There's lots of things that people can do. But we focus on entrepreneurs because we believe that entrepreneurs take a risk and work hard to get out of poverty. And most of the times they are forgotten by any or many aid or help NGOs. So because we feel that whatever you can put in an entrepreneur, you will use it or she will use it to the extent which generates money and which at the end is always sustainable. So yeah, and I think also the entrepreneurs are examples for other people who struggle and who are looking for a way out of it. Mm-hmm. And I think the entrepreneurs are an example of how you can reach out and get out of poverty.
Okay. Mr. Nyorongo, anything to add or subtract from what Rik has just told us?
Yeah, thank you. Another observation I would love to make is that why we ventured into entrepreneurship or empowering entrepreneurs is that we want to alleviate the higher levels of poverty because we have higher levels of unemployment in African countries.
Exactly.
So we think with this program, it would be very helpful. People will learn how to become investors and not only rely on governments, but also rely on their abilities. And we teach them how to become investors and probably be able to be good entrepreneurs and provide employment for others as well. So that's why I think it's a good program for entrepreneurs.
Okay, so far so good. How would you rate the levels of entrepreneurship in Zambia, especially you that are born and bred Zambian, a son of the soil? Of course, not to shoot away Rik, but Rik will give an expert point of view.
Yeah, I think we have so many entrepreneurs in Zambia, especially Lusaka, very congested. It's a good thing for me to see that, but the question would be, do they have the knowledge to run the business?
Exactly. Because
many of the people there, they are interested in money. I've seen people treasure money more than the knowledge. So I think we have so many enthusiastic entrepreneurs, but I also think they need the knowledge to run their businesses well. That's why we are on board as Jacana to provide empowerment with these skills, especially in business planning. Yes.
Okay. Now, Rik, to now delve into our topic of discussion today, which is a business model and how to create a business plan in a nutshell. What to start with? Maybe kindly highlight us on our topic of discussion today.
Yeah, thank you. Today we're talking about a special type of business model. Actually, when I was an entrepreneur, I wrote a business plan for 60 pages. And I'm sure if I put a $100 bill at the end somewhere, it would still be there, because nobody would have written that 60 pages business plan. So experience has taught me that, and also looking around, you'll find that there's different models. And today we want to talk about the lean canvas business model,
exactly,
which actually fits on one A4 paper. And I would like to challenge your listeners to get a pencil now, get one empty A4 paper, and in this 1 hour, I'm sure we can make your financial and your business plan, your lean canvas model.
All right, dear listeners, you have heard it for yourselves. If you are not in a position to if you do not have a pen and a paper now, I'd advise that the next few seconds, please rush to get yourself a pen and a paper, because each and every point that's going to be discussed on the program today could just be that step that you've been waiting for in order for you to have some form of success in your business endeavor. So Rik, we will continue.
Yeah, thank you. So the lean canvas business model is a practical model. It fits on one A4, and that's a very good thing, because then it forces you to be concise, to be very precise. Don't write too much rubbish. You have to be to the point.
That is true.
Yeah, and it is portable. You can bring it in the back pocket of your trousers and discuss it with your friends whenever you like. And I think that's an important thing, because a business plan, it might be in your mind a brilliant plan, but when you discuss it with many people, it will become better. And I think the Canvas model is suitable for that. So especially also on these Christmas days, you meet a lot of relatives, isn't it?
That is true. Yeah.
So the people which you can trust, which you can talk to, and you will get new ideas. So take your model, if you make it today, and adjust it with every talk you have to make it better.
Pious.
Yes. Yeah, I think if there are people who don't like to read very thick dossiers, I'm one of them.
Okay.
Big books. You find people in offices, this is real, they don't want to read your big plan, your 60-page, your 100-page business plan. They will throw it in the trash. So I think with this model of today we are going to look at, it's very simple and to our advantage as entrepreneurs. Because then it gives you an advantage to get grants and get funding from different organizations. So it's a good thing for our listeners. Yes.
Okay. Now to start with, Rik, how do you kindly explain to us how this process works, the business model itself?
Yeah. So maybe here I would like to ask our trainer, Mr. Pious, to start explaining the first sense.
Okay.
Okay, thank you. I believe everybody has got a pencil and a paper to write something down here as we have begun to learn how to create a business plan. Now, to start with, remember this is going to be a one-page business plan, not a 60-page business plan. So there are few segments that we have to look at when we are formulating a business plan. And the first segment is a customer segment. This is very, very important. You want to expand your business. Now, we look at the customer segment. And under the customer segment, we look at who are our customers. Here, I'll give an example of a baker. He's been baking bread. He has a bakery. But he wants to expand to go into cake. He wants to be making cake. So he looks at who are going to be the customers for that cake. So now, because this has been a baker, probably he has some other customer groups, for example, maybe as tourists, maybe as neighborhood bypassers, and so many people that are passing through that bakery, so there could be customers. Now, he focuses on experts, because experts are also buying bread from his shop. So he thinks the experts would also be able to buy the cake. And he calls that group as the early adopters. Why? That is the group is going to focus on with expansion. That is the group who will be the first people to see his expansion. The people that are buying the bread from him already. So now, that is the example of the baker. So at this point in time, I would love our listeners to write down the customer segment for your business, especially the expansion business. If you are in business, how would you want to expand? So you look at the focus group. So take your pencil now and write down which group you are going to focus on. You have 2 seconds. Thank you.
Now, what is important here to understand is that, of course, you want to sell your product to entire Zambia, isn't it?
Exactly.
But as Pious explained, you should focus. The more you focus, the more clear your plan will be. So try to make the customer segment as focused as possible, as small as possible. And then after that, look at the early adopter. From that small group, who will be the people that buy your product or your service first?
That is true.
Oh, sorry, I've taken you 2 seconds, I think. Eh?
Yeah, I think they have written down something.
Exactly.
All right.
Right on point.
Yeah, thank you. So we go to the second segment. I think the point there was clear. We have written down something. Now we are looking at the second segment. We want to look at the problems. Here, I would love our listeners to pay very, very much extra attention. On the problems, there is a temptation to think for our problems, but here is a different thing. You have to think from the customer view of problems. You look at what the problems of the customer would be, not your problems. That is what it is here. When you're formulating a business plan, under problem segment, you think from the customer point of view. I believe we are together there. So in the case of a baker, this bakery, because as we learn, I want us to use the bakery as an example throughout the discussion. So in the case of the baker, he thinks these are the problems. There could be 10 problems, but you list 3 problems and the most urgent problem on top. Now, let's look at what the baker thinks here. He thinks experts cannot find the quality cake that they like. That is not the problem of the baker, but it's the problem of the customer. And he's thinking they cannot find quality cake that they like. The second problem is that experts want the possibility to order in advance. For example, for parties. So that is another problem for the customers and not for the baker. The third problem is that he thinks experts want fresh products. And that is true, because if I want a fresh cake, some shops they stock cakes for 5 days. That's not good for consumption. So I would love something straight from the oven. I take it home. So the baker thinks these are the 3 topmost problems of his customers. So therefore, I'm giving again 2 seconds to or this time 3 seconds to our listeners to just write down the 3 problems of your customers. Not your problems, but the problems of your customers. Remember, there's always a temptation to write down your problems.
Exactly.
Yeah, but we need the customer problems. So think from their point of view. Thank you. You have 2 seconds, please.
And try to prioritize the 3 most important problems. Of course, there's many problems.
Yeah,
exactly. As they say in business, that one customer who walks away complaining, there's a possibility he could tell more than 13 people how poor your services are. So you've got to keep that in mind as you note down those 3 points that Pious is just from sharing with all of us. I have my own pen and paper here, and I'm doing the honors.
Very good.
That is true. That is true. Thank you. I think
the 3 seconds.
The 3 seconds are over, because at the essence is that at the end of this program, you should have your first business plan formulated. Yes, so it's good if you can follow tightly. Okay. So we are going to the third segment, and this is called unique value proposition. It could sound as a big English, but it's not. It simply means, why are you different and worth buying? Why should I come to your shop and not to the next Indian guy next to you? Why should I go to this shop and not the other one? Why should I buy your business and not other people's business, which is similar? So under this unique value proposition, we look at certain factors. One, we look at this entrepreneur has to be different, but make sure your difference matters. Number two, you look at you target the early adopters, because this is an issue of focus. You cannot focus the whole Zambia. You have to make your group smaller, so you target the group of early adopters, as we just learned in the customer segment. And then the third one is that you pick your words carefully and own them as you're looking at value proposition. And also, we also fourthly, we look at what, who, and why. So this information should fill in a small billboard. Now, when you look at why, what, who, and why, that's a very big question. Your billboard should be able to tell us, what are you offering?
Exactly.
Whom are you targeting? And why should they come to you? That's very, very cardinal to take note. Now, for example, in the case of a baker, here is what he thinks. He thinks he's different from others. Why? Because he provides high standard quality cakes. But for our entrepreneurs in Zambia, if you go through especially Cabo Road, you see a lot of high standard quality blocks, high standard quality of this, high standard quality. The way high standard quality is, you see everywhere now. So I think it's good if somebody could come up with a nice word that distinguishes him from other competitors. Better than high standard quality. There should be a word, I think, Isaac. Yes. So the baker thinks he provides high standard quality cakes, and also there is a possibility to order in advance. These 2 points makes him unique. I mean, if I want a cake that should be used on Friday, and there is a shop that can provide that today, I can book for that today. Definitely, I would go for that one. So please, listeners, take down your pencil and write down, why should we come to your business and not to your next door neighbor? You have 3 seconds. Thank you.
Yeah, and it's not always easy to find that one. And again, this model is there as a discussion also.
Exactly.
If for instance, the example of our bakery is not perfect, so that's why Pious is asking.
Yeah, to look for a nice word,
exactly.
A nice standard quality cake. That is true.
So this plan also is something that you can change and improve.
Yeah, that is true. And I think if they have questions, they can also write down, and when time comes, they can ask.
Definitely, they are doing that.
Okay, thank you. So can we say is it over? The 3 seconds we gave
3
is
seconds
over.
as elapsed.
Okay. I believe they're enjoying this. Most of those who are into business. I love this. Now, let's look at the 4th segment. And this time we are looking at solution. Again, I want to mention here that there's a temptation to provide your own solutions instead of the customer point of view solutions. You understand that, Isaac?
Exactly.
Yes, because here you have to think again from the problems that your customers has, not your problems. So there you can now provide you can provide the solutions to those problems. So let's also again look at these solutions, how to deliver value to the customer. Now let's see what the baker has here. Let's take again an example of this man who's a baker. He's doing expansion into cake. So he provides the following solutions for the problems that he previously mentioned. Number one is that customers can taste a small sample piece in the shop. Probably that was of a cake. He thinks they can taste. That is also a solution. Now they will test and find out, is it quality? Has it got quality? Is the cake is it as it was described? You understand? Yeah, because if you look at the problem, we said experts cannot find quality cake. Now here they are in the shop and they are testing that cake. Probably they'll be able to tell the quality of that cake. And secondly, customers can see the production of the cake. That is also hygiene. You see, when you enter in certain bakeries, you'll be able to see through the grass, you are able to see how they are making the cake. That is hygiene. So there you are guaranteed of quality, I think. So that production, for the baker, that he thinks that is very, very cardinal for the customers to see. Yeah, and I think I'm one of the people that are very particular at hygiene. I want to see, I must be sure of the food I'm eating. How quality is this food? Okay. Then also the third point is that the third solution is that there has to be a possibility to order in advance. I think many experts are busy. They don't have time to stand up in the queue and wait for the production of the cake. So it's easy for me to pick up a phone and call the shop that makes cakes and say, I would love to have a cake on Friday. I have a flight waiting for me at 14. So if that service is provided, definitely I'm happy with that man, the baker. I should be happy with him because I'll always be doing business with that person. So I think I'm giving again 30 seconds to our listeners to just write down the solutions for the problems of their customers. I give you 3 seconds.
All right. The solutions,
yeah,
the problems.
The solutions to the problems, yes.
Not their own problems.
Not their problems, remember.
The common mistake which people make here is that when you want to start a business, you think of, I have a solution which people need.
Exactly.
Yeah, instead of looking from the point of view of the customer.
Of the customer.
Of the market.
So you find sometimes you provide a solution which may not work for your customers because you thought it from your point of view. You think it's right, but do you think this could be workable for the customer?
Exactly.
That's the temptation we are trying to avoid here. Yes.
Okay.
So I think the 3 seconds should have elapsed by now.
Exactly.
Okay. So let me proceed. We are going to the 5th segment, and this time this is very simple, but very, very educative. It's called channels. Now, this is what, when we talk about channels, we mean the path to your customers. How do your customers know that you have this product available or this service is provided here? How do they know? So, number one, for example, I'll take an example of a baker. He's already baking bread. So, existing customers that buy bread now can taste sample pieces of cake. So they will tell their friends that there is quite cake there. So that one, it's actually going to the other people to say they make cake as well. You see, so those are existing customers of the business.
So word to mouth.
Yes, also there's also word to mouth, yes. And small signboard. Sometimes you need a billboard. You cannot have a product hidden in your house or in your shop, and then there's no way, there's no sign to say this is what they are offering here. How do I know? That's why I like it in Zambia. When we are going through some places in town, you see, I'm looking for a barber shop. You find some pictures of people who have been cutting their hair. So that immediately tells me there's a barber shop there. Sometimes you're going to Kabwe Road, you see Zambia has put a very nice billboard and other companies. So that is very, very good because then they are sending the message to their customers. So now, I would love to hear from our listeners if they can get their pencils and write down their channels. How do they reach to their customers? I think this one is simple. So 5 seconds, 2 seconds. Yeah, I think I reduced to 2 seconds. Yes, thank you. Wow, I think they are over now.
Yes.
They are over. Yes, they have. Okay, so we are going to the next segment. That this one is quite difficult. I can assure you, you have to think about it again. This is called competitive advantage. How to defend yourself against competition. You see, you find you are selling talk time. Find this shop, they are selling chips and chicken. Now, maybe 10 restaurants selling in Shima everywhere. How do you defend yourself against the competition? Now, this is what it means by competitive advantage. Now, when we look at competitive advantage, you look at something that cannot be easily bought or copied. Okay? This is what puts you ahead of others. I think, like that.
Yes, true.
Yeah. this is something that can put you ahead of others.
Okay.
In any business, there must be your advantage to stand against competition.
Exactly.
Yes. So, for example, in the case of a baker, I want to give two examples so that it's more clear to people. The first example is that for the baker, among his customers, he already has experts. Mm-hmm. And the experts, maybe for example, people from Europe or those who are very qualified in testing cakes and food stuff and all that. So this is sort of a network that is not easily formulated.
You mean the experts who are already buying bread?
Yes, exactly. Those who are already buying bread.
And you are now looking at a new product, the cake.
Yes.
And that network is already there.
The network is already there.
Yeah.
That is true. And another example I would love to give is that I'll give example of a car wash. Mm-hmm. If somebody has a car wash, you see, you have to buy water every day. I've seen car washes in Mumbai Road. People, they have to buy water in drums and then they wash cars. Mm-hmm. Now, a competitive advantage for such a car wash, for example, if somebody has a well, that becomes a competitive advantage if there is a well of water there, because that cannot be easily bought.
Okay.
People cannot go and buy a well from South Africa.
It is nature.
No. That is something very powerful. It's a powerful competitive advantage. So it puts the car wash company ahead of others. So I think for now, our listeners should have their pencils ready to write down the competitive advantage of their businesses. I think this one, they have to think. So
it takes maybe some more time.
Let's give it a minute.
Yeah.
That is too much.
Maybe 5 seconds, please. 5 seconds is okay.
I think it's also something that you could discuss with your friends or...
Exactly.
Yeah, that is
it
true.
will develop, I think, something like that.
That is true. Okay.
So actually, Pious, now you already explained most part of this lean canvas model, huh?
Yeah, that is true.
And if it's correct, our listeners have now a list of cells which are more or less filled.
Mm-hmm.
And now we come to the next part, which is actually the most critical assumption. They call it, because your plan, every plan is based on assumptions, things that you assume. You might not know if they're completely true or not.
Yeah.
So here, some of these assumptions are not so critical, but other ones are very critical for your business. For example, if you look at the bakery, he assumes that he can sell this bread to experts and that they like the quality. But maybe he's baking and he likes it. The bakery likes the quality himself very much, but the expert has a completely different taste. So that's an assumption he made. Yeah. And he also assumes that nobody else is making that type of cake in the area.
That's true.
And he's assuming that people want to pay money for it. So this is a very critical assumption. So try to find out what are the things that you've written down until now, which are assumptions which might be critical for your business, and write them down under most critical assumption. Yes. And again, you get 2 seconds.
I think that's 2 seconds. It's something they can just think and then write. If just remember, if there's any question, just take it down, and please we'll be able to answer in a few minutes now. Okay.
Yeah. Because once you know this most critical assumption, you come to the test. You have to find out how can we test if this critical assumption is true or not.
Or if it's workable.
Yeah, it's workable. So the next topic is test. And you don't want to spend a lot of money testing something of which you don't know yet. So
maybe Rik, just give us an example because we are looking
at the baker. For example, the baker. So how could the bakery test if his cake is liked, if people like it?
Yes.
The bakery thinks, okay, let me bake cakes for 2 weeks, just a few of them, and give people in our shop who are buying bread, give them a small piece of cake and ask 3 questions.
Okay.
So my investment is just a few cakes, isn't it?
Yeah, that's true.
Just to find out. So he gives these pieces of cake to all his customers, but especially to the experts, his early adopters. And he asks them the question, do you like the cake? So that's testing the quality.
Yeah, that's true.
Secondly, do you think you can buy it somewhere else here in the neighborhood?
Nearby.
So he's testing that one. And thirdly, he asked them, would you be willing to pay 45 kwacha for it in the future? So he's testing if people really have the money for it,
That is
want
true.
to pay for it. So that is the way he designed this test.
Yeah.
And in your case, and the listener's case, as also, I'm sure, if you're creative, you can find a way of testing your
The business.
the
product.
your most critical assumption.
That is true.
Before you start.
Yeah.
But actually, while you're testing this, you're already engaging with your customer, with your future customers.
Creating relationships.
Yes. So already you're implementing your plan. So write down your test, and again 2 seconds, huh?
Yeah, I think this one could be 2 seconds. Yes, that is true. I think it does elapse.
Yeah. So after that, of course, you have to decide if you have to tested something to go or to not go on. Huh?
Yes.
To maybe adjust your plan. So here it goes. You have to define your go or no go decision. And our suggestion is to make that definition before you actually start testing, because if you already have tested, then it's too easy for ourselves to fool ourselves. Huh?
Yes,
Yeah.
yes, that is true.
So, for example, the bakery could say, okay, before I start testing, I make a go no go decision based on the 50 experts that I will interview in 2 weeks. I want 25 of them to say, yes, I like this cake, I cannot find it somewhere else, and I want to buy it for 45 kwacha.
So you mean 25 out of 50?
50, yeah, so the half of it. Yeah. So
That gives you a decision.
yeah. So if there's 24 or 20 or less, then
Yeah.
he should think, okay, maybe I have to adjust my plan somewhere.
Okay, that is true.
Otherwise, he goes on. So write down your go, no-go decision in a few seconds. Then we come to the cost structure. This cost structure is actually now, because this is your very first lean canvas model, we focus only on the cost of the test.
The test,
Yeah.
yes.
So write down what amount of money you need to do the test only. For example, the bakery, he needs to bake 2 cakes or 3 cakes every day for 2 weeks. Yeah. And he knows the price of the cake, so he can calculate 3 times so many days times so many kwachas gives so many kwachas cost price.
Yes.
So he knows then the cost of his experiment, let's say.
Yeah.
So that's something you could do also in your business model. And then you come to the final part, isn't it?
Yeah, of course. We are coming to the final part. That is the revenue streams. Yeah, on revenue streams, this is how to price your offer, your product. It's actually the sales price. Sometimes I've found out this to be a critical thing. People don't know how to price their products. Now, I want to explain this a bit clearly here. Your price, actually the revenue streams, this is you're looking at your sales price of the product. Now, this one, we consider certain factors, such as your offer should not be less than the cost of that service or product, as Rik just explained. And also, it should not be too high. So you have to, again, look at what is the competition offering. There's also a temptation to sometimes go in competition with the competitors. Maybe you are new in the business, and then you will find ShopRite is all giving at that a price,
and want to compete with
you try to reduce your price. You run at a very big loss, and that's very risky for your business, because those have already got created relationships, and they have made a profit enough to stabilize whatever loss they may incur. So now here you look at what was your cost price. It should not be too low, and again not too high. So you have to do sometimes a research. For example, in the case of a baker, is situated next to the shopping mall, and then he finds out that the cake is sold at 45. in the shopping mall next to him. Then he looks at the cost structure, the cost that was involved.
I would have to cut you short a little because time is also not on our side, so that we can just speak a few calls and hear what our listeners have had to learn from this particular program. Yes. Hello, good afternoon. Okay, we lost that caller. Call us back. The numbers are officially open. The phone lines are officially open, though in the dying minutes of the program. But it's for quick fingers. Call us on 0950650916 at 0950650916. Give us your contribution, your question, or be it a concern in as far as our topic of discussion today is. Today's marketplace is very interesting because it's more of learning and not asking each other questions. It's about sitting back, grabbing that pen and paper, and having to note down these very, very cardinal and very important points that are being given to us by my two experts in studio. I have Rik Hanan as well as Pious and Rik coming all the way from Jacana, an organization, a non-governmental organization for that matter, that is interested in seeing you boost your business abilities, in seeing you get help in as far as entrepreneurship is concerned, seeing you draw up that very viable business plan. So get in touch with us on 0950650916 at 0950650916. Quick fingers, we'll pick only about 3 callers as time is quickly running today. Unfortunately, time seems to fly too fast today.
Yeah.
Pius, you were in the middle of explaining something before I cut you short. You can continue from there.
Actually, I'm just concluding.
Exactly.
I was looking at the offer of your product. Mm-hmm. So in the case of a baker, he finds that the cake is sold at 45 kwacha in the shopping mall. Mm-hmm. And he compares that to his cost involved for him to make that cake. Mm-hmm. And the cost maybe was at 38 kwacha. So the 45 is okay for him. That's how you offer your prices. That's how you price your product, because that 45 becomes your sales price. Mm-hmm. I think I should end there, and I give time to the listeners to ask questions now.
Mm-hmm. Yes. Okay. All right, our dear listeners, our phone lines are officially open for a few minutes only that we have left for us on the program today. Okay, we pick our first caller. Hello, good afternoon. Good afternoon, thank you. Who do we have and where are you calling us from?
Thank you very much. This is Koilat.
Mr. Koilat, under a few seconds, your contribution, sir, or a question.
Thank you very much. You said also that organization is dealing with entrepreneurs, isn't it?
Exactly.
Exactly. Suppose someone has a brilliant idea in entrepreneurship related to agriculture. Mm-hmm. Will they extend the hand that they can attend to such a one? Mm-hmm. Then, if at all, I may not have I don't know how we can contact them. They will give their contact details after the program. Mm-hmm.
Okay. Exactly.
Then we can bring out a lot of brilliant ideas that you can bring out, not on the air.
Okay. All right, Mr. Koilat, thank you so much for that call and, of course, that note. And the question, he poses a question. Did you get the question, gentlemen? He actually says, he's asking, if one has a brilliant idea, that's according to them. They feel, everyone who comes up with an idea feels it's brilliant even before they present it to experts like yourselves. So exactly. So he says, do you extend a helping hand? It could be maybe in issues of finances, or maybe sponsor the idea, or maybe groom the idea, develop it from where they see it themselves. So you'll be able to guide our caller, that's Mr. Koilat, calling us from Lusaka.
Yeah. Thank you. It's a good question. So what Jacana does is we can support you with the skills, mm-hmm. and we can guide you. But unfortunately, we don't have the funds to also support you financially. Mm-hmm. But we can guide you in a way that your plan becomes attractive to the ones who have.
Exactly.
And contact details, we'll give that after the...
at the end of the program.
At the end of the program, yeah. Mm-hmm. So, I encourage you, just contact us. That's possible through the website. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and I think the details will be left with we will mention the details. You can give the numbers, and I think we should contact. They'll contact us through those numbers.
Okay.
Yes.
Exactly. We will do that at the end.
Yeah, because I heard he said it's entrepreneurship related to agriculture.
Exactly.
Yeah, and then he has so many ideas that he cannot mention on here, according to him.
Yes.
So it's something we can accommodate. Maybe we can talk outside the here.
Okay.
So yes.
Okay, maybe one thing one would also be prompted to ask. I'm asking on their behalf now as a middleman. One thing one would be prompted to ask: is Jacana specified in only a certain kind of entrepreneurship, or is it entrepreneurship in general? Would you help somebody structure a business plan on chicken rearing? Would you help somebody structure a business plan on the construction industry, the energy sector?
Thank you. That's a very good question. I was expecting that to be the first question, maybe.
Okay.
Yes, I want to make it clear here. Jacana can help you in any business. Yes, with business plans. It can be chicken, quails. So far we have done, I think, a lot of different plans. We can teach, we do help a lot with different type of business plans. It can be cattle, pigs, whatever you are involved in. Yes.
And I think, of course, we don't have all the experience, and on the field that we can't help you, we find or we try to find experts who can, within Zambia or even without, outside. I mean,
Europe, yes, we try to do that.
For example,
Yes.
So it's not specifically one area.
What he's saying is that if
Let's pick another call. Hello, good afternoon.
Good afternoon, Isaac.
Good afternoon, thank you. Who do we have and where are you calling us from?
The Honorable Minister of Smart and Taking Affairs.
Smart and Taking Affairs. Honorable Mansa.
Yes, please.
Your contributions.
Good afternoon, Rick.
Good afternoon. How are you?
Fine, thank you. Welcome to Zambia.
Thank you very much.
Okay. Anyirongo, muri uri dad?
Makora Madira.
Makora, samuna Ivare Chitumbuka.
Yeah, it's Naivale.
Canada, Gulibe.
Yeah, we are speaking to Zambia. Enjoy Zambia a lot.
Okay, thank you very much. I think I've come up with a very good list of how a person can proceed with his or her business. But I missed the first two segments. I only found you when you were talking of why should people come to your business, solutions, channels, the competition, assumptions, something critical to your business, the test, and then the last one, I think it was the offer of your product. So I think you should go through the first two channels. Then my other question is, not the first two channels, the first two segments. Then my other question is, for how long are you going to be in the country?
Okay.
Because I've heard the question again from Koilat, who has said, if you are at least you can give some of your contact numbers. And in addition to what Koilat has said, I think you should have given just have some business tips with those who are interested. Maybe you just select a place where to meet them so that you go, all these things you have mentioned, you maybe even provide some leaflets or pamphlets so that wherever even if you go back to Canada, at least some of the people remain here going through such things so that they can improve their businesses. And I would also like to have your contact numbers. Thank you very much, gentlemen. I think I've enjoyed your program also today. Thank you.
Smart MP, thank you so much for coming.
Thank you very much.
All right, that was Brother Mwansa calling us from Lusaka. Gentlemen, we have limited time, but I'll allow you to, I think, have a touch or two on a few concerns that he has raised. Maybe to stress further one of the points that Brother Mwansa has raised. I'm aware that Jacana intends, or rather runs, training programs. I think he's asked something in line with that, where he's saying maybe choose a place and call a number of people whom you feel you can help better their skills of entrepreneurship. Pious.
I think let me take that one quickly. I heard that there should be 3 questions more that he asked, but I'm going to answer the first one. Jacana is a registered NGO in Zambia, and we are based in Samba. So, according to what you said, you were looking for the contact details, where to find us. We are already training people. So, we'll give you the contact details, how you can come and meet us. And then because he said he missed the 2 first segments,
Okay.
So
All right. That
how much?
may not be necessary. That would be may have to be an issue of another program.
Yeah.
That is true.
We'll have to bring you gentlemen back on the program again to just come and further stress. Okay, we seem to have a lot of people calling, but
Yes, please
because
speak.
it's a democracy, and we want to, because it's Christmas as well, it's
Yeah,
festive
for
season,
sure.
it's a month of giving and taking.
Yes.
So let's take this one last caller.
Okay.
Hello, good afternoon.
How are you?
Fine, thank you. Who do we have and where are you calling us from?
Yeah, this is Philemon within Lusaka.
Brother Philemon, under a few seconds, Bwana, we're running out of time.
Thank you. No, it's just a question, and it's a question and a warning. You know, to those two panelists who are articulating issues brilliantly.
Mm-hmm.
You know, you are spot on. Now I'm urging you that as you.
We have lost Philemon. Philemon, if you can, because it's close to Christmas time, like I said, we are very generous on the program today. We will allow you a minute. So get in touch with us and let's get to be here, your view in full. Hello, good afternoon. Hello, good afternoon. Okay, we lost that one. Okay, Pious, you were explaining something just before Philemon cut in.
Okay, because I don't have enough time to explain back
Exactly.
the customer segment and the problem segment.
Mm-hmm.
So, since we are giving out our details, they can come through to us. Yes.
Okay, this has to be Philemon somehow. Hello, good afternoon.
Hello, good afternoon. No, sorry, my line got cut because of this load shedding. You know, my phone has been load shedding.
Sorry.
Okay, Bwana, under a few seconds, please.
Thank you. No, I was saying the two gentlemen there are.
What is this?
Okay, it seems as though Philemon and
He did not charge his phone, eh?
Exactly, he's been load shedded according to him, but we wish you all the best and ensure that you charge the phone to the fullest next time we host Rik and Pious on this particular program. Gentlemen, as you give your final remarks, what would be your words of encouragement to the Zambian entrepreneur, both those that are aspiring to become entrepreneurs and those that are already in the business and maybe wish to boost?
All right. I think I would want to speak especially to the youths. I've seen a lot of them doing business.
Exactly.
And maybe graduates or so.
Mm-hmm.
So I think we have so many vibrant and energetic youths. Mm-hmm. My words are that please don't rely on somebody to employ you. Come on board. Jacana may provide some trainings for you, some skills. Mm-hmm. And then tomorrow you become an investor and provide jobs for this country. Mm-hmm. Because I think together we can alleviate these poverty levels in this country if we became investors. Yes. So, and those who are in the business, please don't be very comfortable with the limits that you have now. It's always good to look beyond and think of expanding the business. Sometimes people treasure money more than knowledge. But I would love to see that changed if we can treasure knowledge more than money.
Okay.
Yes, thank you.
Rik?
Yeah, so no, I can only add what my D colleague has explained. I mean, it's perfect. It's nothing I could add to that. Perfect. The only thing is maybe many callers ask for contact details.
Exactly, contact details.
I would suggest they visit our website, which is www.jacana.help.
Okay.
And Jacana is Jacana. .help.
Jacana.
Okay.
Yeah.
And then physical address in Chisamba. Chisamba is quite a wide
Yeah, that's true,
place.
but it's also
Let me explain where we're located. If you are going to Chisamba, there is a Denes on your left. So the first lodge on your right, immediately after maybe 50 meters away from the ZNS offices, on your right there's a lodge. It's called Group Farms. So we have our office there.
Okay.
Yeah, for now we are there and we do our trainings from there.
Okay.
Yes, please.
Okay. All right, thank you so much, gentlemen, for coming to the program today, and looking forward to hosting you in the nearest future.
Thank you very much.
All right, thank you so much. Our dear listeners, you have been listening to The Marketplace, your number one program, one designed to facilitate interaction between business leaders and consumers as interest groups in Zambia and beyond. Well, you heard it from yourself. My guests on the program today have been Rik Hanan and Pious and Rik from Jacana, a non-governmental organization interested in helping youths boost their business plans, in helping people come up with viable and provable business plans that yield into better in the near future. This has been Isaac Mwendela Nsoneka, your usual presenter. Be sure to join me next week as I return with my entire Marketplace team. On behalf of my sound engineer, Goodface Mulala, and my producer of the day, Sydney Bwalia, it's bye-bye and pleasant listening. Up next is Goodface